All right, so hi everyone, and welcome to another live session from the series Engineering Qualification Validation in Australia. And in this live session, number 123, which means that every week for the last 123 weeks, which is much more than 2 years, I am here talking about an important subject about engineering qualification validation in Australia, also about how to get a job in Australia. But tonight, I'm going to be talking about an important report. I'm going to be talking about an important report of the engineering qualification process, engineering qualification validation process, which is a CPD, Continuing Professional Development. And for those ones that are in the process of validating your qualification, you probably know already. But maybe some of you or a few of you don't know what CPD is and why do you need to do CPD. So yeah, probably would be interesting to know if you guys know what is CPD or if you don't know. So if you know, perhaps you put yes in the comments, please. If you don't know, yeah, please put no in the comments so I know if you guys know or not what CPD is. And tonight I'm going to give you actually 6 practical examples of CPD. But first, for those that don't know me, my name is Gerson Ida, and I'm the founder of the website www.engineersinaustralia.com, a website to share content of value and useful information to help you in your journey to validate your engineering qualification in Australia. And I also share information about workplace health and safety, environmental management, day-to-day of engineering in Australia, and also about professional engineering recruitment. And also, if you haven't joined my Telegram group yet, you can use the link that I'm going to paste now. What is Telegram? Telegram, it's a messaging app like WhatsApp. And I've got a group called Engineering Qualification Validation. I've got more than 800 members in that group, which means that every time that I post something, I send audios or videos, it goes straight to you if you are part of this group. And the group is free, you don't need to pay anything. You just need to download the app, and then once you download, you can just then click on this link that I'm going to paste in YouTube now, in Instagram, and also in Facebook. Just going to paste in Facebook now, so you can join the group. And also, if you're interested in the free workshop Engineering Qualification Validation, which I'm going to start on the 5th of December, you can then register for free to attend the workshop, where in just 1 week, you will learn all the process that you need to start your validation process here in Australia. So I'm pasting the registration link if you haven't registered yet. And thanks, Vinicius, for your answer that yes, you do know what CPD is. So let's get down to the business now, and I'm really excited and happy to be here to share my experience in the engineering qualification validation process. And during the last week, I received a few questions about the CPD, obviously from engineers, asking what is and what is not a CPD event. So first question is, and first topic that I'm going to cover tonight is, what is CPD and why is it important? So CPD stands for the Continuing Professional Development. And CPD is how we engineers, we keep ourselves up to date in our engineering field after we graduated. And every relevant CPD must be included in the CPD form in your CDR application and should be presented in a list format with title, date, duration, venue, and organizer. So it's a very simple document, and the booklet says that it's just going to be one A4 page in a list format with these 5 columns: title, date, duration, venue, and organizer. So for example, and I'm going to actually do a PDF of this live session as well, but there's always a catch with this PDF. I will post in my Telegram group the PDF, but I will post if there is engagement in my Instagram post that I'm going to do live here tonight. So if there is engagement, I will post it. If there's no engagement, I don't post. Obviously, I post to my students. I've got an online mentoring program, a VIP group in my Telegram, where I post the PDFs there. So for my students, regardless of the engagement in Instagram, they get the PDF without the password. The other ones, if you want the PDF, you need to engage with me in Instagram, and then also stay with me until the end, because I'm going to release the password for you to unlock the PDF. Yes, I do that because I spend a lot of time preparing the PDF, and I think that the least that I can ask you guys to do is to engage with me in my Instagram. All right, so I'm going to give you 6 practical examples of CPD. The example number 1, and also because they are types of events. Example number 1 is any post-graduation courses. Can be specialization, a graduate certificate, or a graduate diploma, even master's degree. Also can be certificates that you are doing here in Australia or you have done in Australia. Certificate 3 or Certificate 4, a diploma, an advanced diploma, or even associate degrees, etc. So for example, I've completed myself a specialization in planning and construction at the Gifu Prefecture Planning and Design Center in Japan between May 1997 and March 1998. So that's the example that I could use. And how do I put that in the CPD report? Remember, you've got 5 columns. So the title is graduate diploma in planning and construction at the Gifu Prefecture Planning and Design Center in Japan. So the title, graduate diploma in construction and planning, the date between May 1997 and March 1998. I graduated in 1994. So CPD events just after you graduated. So the duration obviously was 10 months. The venue was in Gifu, Japan, and the organizer was the Planning and Design Center of the Gifu Prefecture in Japan. Example number 2, it could be conferences that you have attended as a participant or presenter, for example. And another example that could be, let's say that you presented a paper in a conference, and the title of this paper was 5S Program as the Base for Lean Manufacturing at the 4th International Congress for Industrial Engineering Development between 30th May and 1st of June 2017 at Unisociesc in Joinville, let's say, for example. So that's how you describe, and then you have all the, obviously, the title, the duration, the date, and the venue and the organizer that you need to put in your CPD event. But the important thing is that the type of CPD event is conferences that you've attended as a participant or a presenter. And type number 3, it could be other courses, workshops, seminars, discussion groups, technical inspections, technical visits, and technical meetings that you have attended. For example, if you've carried out a technical visit in an electricity power substation to inspect the oil insulation of a hermetic transformer, for example. hermetic transformers because it's immersed in mineral oil. On the 6th of June 2019 with 2 hours duration. So that's from your company. So obviously the organizer could be your company, and the venue was the electricity power substation. If you have a name, you can put in there. So that's just obviously just a hypothetical example. So I'm going to show you guys the PDF that how the PDF is taking shape. I'm just going to, where is that? I'm just going to get the PDF there. That's it. All right. As you guys can see, I'm going to do a little bit of a zoom in. So that's a CPD. CPD. And this is the question that I'm actually going to take a picture of this. And as usual, I'm going to post in my Telegram. So take a picture now. And going to post in my Instagram live. So that's the one. And I'm going to write in the comments, write down one CPD event you are going to use in your validation process. That's it. And share. So I'm sharing now. I'm going to show you guys. It's posting. Yeah, it's there. So you can see that it is in my Instagram. So what you need to do is to just need to go to my Instagram and then like the post and write in the comments one CPD event that you're going to use in your validation process, or one type. And if I have engagements, which means likes and comments in that post, I will then make this document here as a PDF, and I'm going to share in my Telegram group. So if you're not part of the Telegram group, you can see in the comments, there is the link there. If you are on Instagram, the link in my bio also has access to the Telegram group. But you got to stay until the end because the PDF will be protected by a password, and I'm going to release a password towards the end of this live session. So that's the first topic. What is CPD and why is it important? And now these are the practical examples. So I'll keep going with the practical examples. So example number 4 is preparation and presentation of material for courses, conferences, seminars, or symposiums. So for example, if you're working in a company that does, let's say that you're an electrical engineer and your company does street lighting installation, and then you prepared a material and presented to fellow engineers to demonstrate the technical specifications and benefits in replacing mercury luminaires by LED luminaires on such day, whatever day you presented, and you invested actually 3 hours between preparing the material and presenting the material. So that could be another example of CPD event. Another example could be engineering professional services, mainly volunteer work, mentorship, when you're mentoring somebody, participation in committees or boards. For example, every time that I participate in interview panels, or I am an industry peer reviewer for CPA engineers, chartered professional engineers with Engineers Australia. My participation, I can claim CPD hours because I obviously review career episodes, I participate in interviews, I dedicate time as a volunteer in the profession of engineering. So usually I can claim about 5 hours usually when I do this volunteer work. So that's another example of engineering profession services. And another example, that's probably the one that you guys probably, if you are here in Australia and not work as an engineer, is it's a type of CPD event that you can actually start accruing. Looks like I had issues. No, it's all good. Those ones, Instagram is still okay, because apparently it was freezing a little bit, but looks like it's still going. Looks like, yeah, I believe it's still going. So private study, private study is the type number 6 of CPD events that you can do, and that includes technical books, technical journals or magazines, technical specifications, and webinars or workshops that you attend with Engineers Australia, for example. So the example that I'm going to give to you guys is a project that we did here in Brisbane. We're still delivering this project to jack up a bridge. So the time that I spent in studying the jacking procedures and the technical specifications, they do count as CPD hours as part of my work. But if I was reading and studying how we're going to lift up the bridge and how we're going to strengthen the joints, etc., that time that I studied and I read technical specifications and the procedures, it can count as my private study. So I put the dates and hours spent in those studies. So what I suggest you guys to do is to create like a table, or it could be a spreadsheet or a table in a Word document with those 5 columns. And then every time that you do something, please keep records of that. Because if you are going to do your validation process, let's say towards the end of the year or early next year, it's important for you to record all of those CPD events. Because if you don't record now, maybe in sorry. So maybe in 2 or 3 or 5 months' time, you're not going to remember. So I'm going to share with you as well some websites that you can actually do some CPD. So what I'm going to do, these are all the examples there. And some sources of CPD. The first one are events that Engineers Australia, they organize. There are paid events, but there are free events. And also they're doing hybrid events, which means face-to-face and online. Obviously, you've got to go to your Engineers Australia branch, wherever you are, and then you can attend the face-to-face. But you also have the option to attend the live webinar. Face-to-face is interesting because you can also do networking, and perhaps you can find somebody or that perhaps you can connect and even maybe get an interview for a job. Who knows? I spoke already some time ago about the importance of networking. So in those face-to-face events, usually you will find people that have a lot of connections, and perhaps you can connect to somebody. So I'm going to show you the this website here. When you go to events that Engineers Australia, in the PDF, it will have the link. So that's this one. So when you go here, that's the conferences and events. And there are some, let's say I saw one here. For example, going beyond BIM to achieve digital twin. So that's going to happen on the 3rd of November, 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. It's going to be a webinar, and it's free for members, free for students, and also free for non-members. So this is a free event that you guys can participate. You just need to register. It will give you 1.5 hours of CPD. Obviously, not everybody uses BIM, but you know, for probably civil engineers and even other engineers that they use AutoCAD, that perhaps if you're using BIM in your job, or if you're interested about learning about BIM, that will be certainly interesting. Build information modeling. Yeah, that's it. And importantly, this is a free event. So if we go back, let's see. Yeah, that's a very interesting one. If you are already validated, you can attend this webinar here. It's also free, and it's about how to become a chartered engineer in, I don't know because it's blank, it's white here, but how to become a chartered professional engineer with Engineers Australia. That's going to happen on the 4th of November, and it's a free event also to non-members, and you can get a maximum of 1 hour. All right, the other type of CPD is about, I'm just going to move back there. Let's have a look. Legislation. This is a very important one. So let's have a look. It's the workplace health and safety legislation. So if you guys reading the legislation, you certainly can also claim some CPD hours here. Just going to the website there. So that's the Federal Work Health and Safety Act 2011. And obviously each state will have their own workplace health and safety, but you can read the federal one, and it's kind of a quite big reading. So this one is a very important one. It's about health and safety duties. As an engineer working here in Australia, you have obviously duties in regards to health and safety. So very important, guys, and it's important for you to understand what are your duties, especially because a duty cannot be transferred to another person. So if you are responsible for something, you cannot transfer that responsibility to another person. And there will be other definitions there. So very important legislation for you guys to read and to understand as well. Let's have a look at another one there. Yeah, this website here, the Institute of Public Works and Engineering Australia, it will have lots of, just transfer it to the site. It will have lots of events as well. So, for example, there will be the International Public Works Conference, May next year. There are some upcoming events. So let's have a look. One here, Introduction to Asset Management, Digital Badge. Some of them, they are free, others you have to pay. So let's have a look this one. I don't know if it says, yes, it is paid. It's 175 plus GST for members and 195 plus GST for non-members. So you have to browse around and see if you can find a free event. Sometimes there are free events. Sometimes there's none, because obviously those people, they need to make some profit as well. But in my PDF, I'm going to put lots of CPD sources. So you can see here, the Lean Construction Australia New Zealand is a very important website for you guys to have a look, especially because they do have free webinars. I am actually part of the committee here in Queensland, and I do recommend you guys to follow the Lean Construction Australia New Zealand, and they've got events. Let's see if there is any. Got to log in, but they do have events, and some of them, majority of them, are for free as well. So you can register, you can participate in those events. All right. So in the PDF, we'll have all those links there. So just going to check if is there any question. Let's see if you guys have any question there. Yeah, looks like there's no question. And don't forget to go to my Instagram post at Gerson Ida. That's the last post, and just answer the last to the last post. And the question is to write down in the comments one CPD event that you are going to use in your validation process. So please like the post and write the comments, the answer to this one. And then if I have engagements, this Word document, I'm going to make it a PDF, and then I'm going to post and share with you in my Telegram group. And the password for that is going to be professional development. Everything in lowercase and all together. So I'm going to type in the comments, so you know, professional development. So that's going to be the password. Professional development. Everything together, low case and no space. Professional development. But you need to like and write the answer in the comments. If you don't, then I'm not going to share in Telegram. And if you're not part of the Telegram group yet, you can. I left the link in the comments. All right, guys. So just double check about questions. No questions there. And don't forget that 5th of December next month, I'm going to start the free online workshop. And the name of the workshop is I Want to Become an Engineer in Australia, where in 1 week, I will teach you how to start your engineering qualification validation here in Australia and start your life transformation. So the link also is in the comments. Those on Instagram, the link is in my bio as well. So I hope that this information about the CPD was useful and you can complete your CPD and help you not to make the same mistakes that many engineers they make when they are trying to validate the engineering qualification here in Australia. And if you're watching this video and you think that it's going to be useful to another colleague engineer, yeah, please share with them. You're more than welcome to share. And next week, I'm going to talk about how to prepare your curriculum vitae if you are in the process of validating your engineering qualification. The CV for the engineering qualification validation is slightly different of a CV if you are going to apply for a job, for example. So in next Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Brisbane time, 9:30 p.m. Sydney or Melbourne time, or 7:30 a.m. in Brasilia time, I will be talking about how to prepare the CV for the validation process. So I would like to thank you guys very much, and you can go to my YouTube channel and you can activate the notifications so you will be reminded when I am live next week. So thank you guys very much, and I hope to see you next Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Brisbane time. See you then. Bye-bye.